Welcome back to the review. Are you having as much fun as I am? I sure hope so. Okay, if you're here, it's probably because you don't know how to factor number 19. First of all, what's going on? It's not even set equal to 0. Okay, if you want to factor something, you need to get it set equal to 0 first because that's the point where it benefits us. If I have two factors and I want to know when they equal 16, there's still a lot of unknown there. I could do 1 times 16. I could do 2 times 8. I could do 4 times 4. There's a lot of possibilities. So by getting it set equal to 0, how do we do that? On number 19, we would just add 15 over here and over here. 3m squared minus 18m plus 15 equals 0. Now, when we get our two factors, we can just look at them individually and say, what's going to make this factor be 0? It's like looking at if I have two numbers that I'm going to multiply by each other and I want it to equal 0. Well, if this one's 0, it doesn't matter what this one is, they're going to multiply to be 0. And then the same thing is also true. If the second number is 0, it doesn't matter what the first one is, the other one is going to become 0 as well. That's what we're doing. We're just doing it with an entire function. Okay. First step, you're always looking for common factors. Is there anything we could divide out of both of these? Let's go with this light pastel purple color. It looks to me like all these numbers divide by the same thing, and that thing is 3. If you don't know, just try. Okay. So a 3 comes out. Does anything else come out? Could we take out an m? Well, the first one has 2 m's, m times m. The middle one has 1 m, but the last one doesn't have any m's, so we're out. So 3 times m squared gets us the 3m squared. What do we multiply 3 by to get negative 18m? 3 times negative 6 is negative 18, but we still need the m. And then 3 times what is 15? It's 3 times 5. Loving it. So now we are going to, for all intents and purposes, ignore that 3 and just factor this thing in the middle. How do we do that? We're going to do 1 times 5, which is 5. And we need factors of 5 that add up to the middle number, negative 6, because of the way the distributive property works out when you FOIL these things together. This is always the case. So what are factors of 5, 5, and 1? 5 times 1 is 5, right? But 5 plus 1 is 6. It's not negative 6. Because both these things need to be negative. Because a negative times a negative still makes a positive. We haven't messed that up, but now we also have this working for us too. So how do we write that? 3 times m minus 5 times m minus 1 equals 0. That's factored form, with the solutions being m equals 5 and m equals positive 1. Just set both factors equal to 0. Okay, let's do... I'm going to really quickly do 21. They have a common factor of n plus 5, n equals 0, n equals negative 5. That one was for free. Let's do 22 right quick, and then we'll move on. Okay, 22. Are there any common factors? Well, the biggest common factor we could get would be a 2, but 11 doesn't divide by 2 because it's difficult. So we're just going to have to multiply 2 by negative 40. That gets us negative 80. That's the number we need factors of, and we need our factors to add up to 11. So what factors work like that? Let's say that you don't know. How do we do that again? There's a way we can do that in the calculadora. We can do negative 80 divided by x, second graph, and now we've got our nice little list of factors. We just need the ones that add up to 11. So I see that these add up to negative 11. That means that those are the right numbers. They're just flipped. I'll zoom on down to positive 16. So when x is 16, or no, when the first one is 16, this one is negative 5. Those are my two factors because they add up to 11, 16 and negative 5. So I write them like this: x plus 16, x minus 5 equals 0. But remember, x times x is x squared. It's not 2x squared. And our factors are 2 times too big because we multiplied by 2. So whatever you multiply by, A times C, you're always going to divide by that A value, the first number. One of them is going to simplify for us. 16 over 2 is 8. The other one doesn't simplify for us. It's lame-o. However, we do find our solutions here. It's these numbers, this number and this fraction. Which fractions are numbers too? Just with the opposite signs. So these are our two solutions. If x is 5 halves minus 5 halves, 0, that's a solution. And if x is -8 plus 8 is 0, that's the solution for that factor. And then the last step to make sure our factors like this is actually not equal to the original yet, we have to do bottoms up. So if there's any fractions left over, we're going to get rid of that by putting it up in front of the variable. And that's our factored form. All right, we're ready to start simplifying some stuff like good, simple